Now, I do have a little bit of insight on helping lead bar associations. Next week, I will be passing the gavel and end my term as president of the Prince George's County Bar Association. I thoroughly enjoyed my time working with the Prince George's County Bar Association. Helping to lead an organization that helped raise me as a lawyer was truly satisfying. I have to thank my board, the members of the Prince George's County Bar Association, for helping me get through what was an amazing year as president. A very special thanks to my boss for the next 3 days, Robin Haddon, who is our executive director of the Prince George's County Bar Association. I could not have done it without her. Unfortunately, Robin couldn't be here, and she's here in spirit, but I wanted to give her a heartfelt thanks. She helped me throughout the year, and she provided sage counsel to me throughout the year. And I'm also honored to follow in the footsteps of Judge Richard Southern, who was a circuit court judge in Prince George's County for many years. But he was the last Prince George's County person to help run this organization some 20-some-odd years ago. And when he found out that I was involved in the MSBA, he told me, strive to be president of that organization. He was the first one to put that bug in my ear. I wasn't thinking about it then, but I began to think about it. And I want to thank him for having confidence in me to me making that suggestion. So thank you, Judge. I can tell you this, running Prince George's County has helped prepare me for running the MSBA. Now, the two associations are drastically different in size. Prince George's County is not as large as MSBA, but we have issues that are the same. I can say with full confidence that my time as president of the Prince George's County Bar Association will help me lead the MSBA, and I think the MSBA is on an excellent track to thrive in a future that is coming faster than we ever thought, bringing exciting opportunities, but also major challenges. Our future is bright in large part to the past presidents I've had the pleasure to serve under while I was with the MSBA. It started under Sarah Arthur, and I really got heavily involved under Judge Trufer, Dana Williams, Judge Skirty, Natalie McSherry, and of course, David Shapiro. The experience I gained from them and the unique challenges they encountered during their bar years have helped me shape certain goals with confidence for the MSBA in the 23-24 bar year. Now, before I discuss my goals, I want to share with you a little bit about myself that maybe you don't know. In addition to practicing administrative law, civil litigation, and municipal law, where I represent 8 local governments in Prince George's County, with my law firm of Alexander and Cleaver, I am also a judge of the Orphans Court. Like you, I see much is changing in our world, much good, and some very dangerous. What keeps me grounded and what keeps me focused is my family. Anyone who knows me understands what my family means to me. Simply put, my family means everything to me. No doubt without them, I would not be here today, taking on this tremendous responsibility. It's because of them and the examples that they've set for me as the youngest of 3 children of Johnny and Thelma Deloach. My brother and sister are here with me. The examples that my family set for me as I grew up as the youngest child has prepared me for this day. My parents are no longer with us. Lost my father in February of 2021. And I don't know how fate happens that way, but on that very day, the 1-year anniversary of his death, I was sworn in to become an Orphans Court judge. I know my parents are looking down at their young, spoiled, rotten, brat little boy and are very happy with him. Yes, I was spoiled. I was the youngest, and it took me years to realize that I was spoiled. But they always instilled in us to be respectful and to be educated and to always, always work hard. We always talk about my father. My father never took any time off. My mother would look at his leave slip at the end of the year and say, "What are you doing?" He was a hard worker, and he instilled that in all of us. And that's part of the reason why I'm here today. Now, I mentioned my brother and my sister, Pamela and Johnny Deloach. I was the youngest, and they always took care of me, always. And this is the part where I get choked up. I can never, ever think of one instance when my brother or my sister said anything that was against my best interest. They always looked out for their baby brother. I thank you for being the brother and the sister that you are, that you've always been, and that you will continue to be. So thank you to Johnny and Pamela Deloach Jupiter. Now, many people have asked me over the years, and leading up to this, Jason, how do you do it? You're everywhere. You're heavily involved with 2 bar associations, running the Prince George's County Bar Association, president-elect of the Maryland State Bar Association, my board work, busy law practice, being a new judge, and a father of 4-year-old twins. People say, how do you do it? Well, I always give the same answer, and that is my wife, Kathleen Deloach. She is a superwoman. She is an extraordinary wife, but she's a better mother. I could not do what I do being the night lawyer. I represent local governments, and I'm everywhere all the time at night. But she's keeping our house a home, and she's making sure that our 2 little jewels are always good. Baby, thank you. And in June of 2024, you got your hubby back. And to my 2 little twins, Jaden and Jaylyn, everybody knows you because Daddy talks about you all the time. I say, you see this gray hair? That's Jaden. You see this gray hair? That's Jaylyn. They are clearly the apple of my eye. And Daddy does all of this, and Mommy does all she does for you. So, now that you know my family is the key to who I am as a man, who is the key to the MSBA? The answer is you, the members, who are here today, who are watching online, and who see the Legal Summit highlights in Maryland Bar Journal and the MSBA social media. You, the thousands of members of the MSBA, each with your own strengths, personality, and knowledge, keep the MSBA grounded, strong, and vibrant. You make the MSBA what it is, the home of our legal profession. Among the members, there's one group I would love to thank, and I'd like to thank specially, the past presidents. I know this is not an easy job, and I know that you have guided the MSBA with a steady hand. And now here we are, stronger than ever, basically based on the work that you've done on this, and you continue to do on behalf of this association. I have been approached by several past presidents in the weeks and days leading up and at this very conference, and everyone had the same message. Call me if you need me. That's what the MSBA is all about. We are who we are based on the people who have worked through this organization and continue to work through this organization. So I want to thank you on behalf of our 40,000 legal professionals for what you do and what you've done in the past. Thank you very much. I also want to thank my colleagues at my law firm of Alexander and Cleaver, my only legal home since I graduated from the University of Baltimore. I want to thank Todd Pounds and Jim Cleaver for taking on the monumental responsibility of handling some of my cases over the next year. I am going to need them, but they have welcomed my challenge with open arms, and I sincerely appreciate it. I also want to thank my colleagues on the Orphans Court. I want to thank my boss, my Chief Judge, Wendy Cartwright, and Associate Judge, Athena Malloy Groves. They have helped me become what I think is a very effective judge. I sat with them, I learned, and now I'm out on my own, and they have been terrific in dealing with my schedule and answering every question that I've ever had as a new lawyer. is a new judge. So I thank them immensely. Now, to my goals that I want to get accomplished in my bar year. Now, these are not in the order of importance. One goal is to make sure that the public gets a true and accurate picture of what lawyers actually do. We need a facelift. And what we are right now, the legal profession is on trial. We have some very important cases that are bouncing around in our courthouses. We all know what we're talking about. And that is going to put the legal profession on trial. Many people don't have any contact with the legal profession. They don't go to court. I would say 70% of them never go in a court of law. So how do they shape their thoughts and what they believe the legal system is? They see it on the boob tube. They see it on TV. They see it on social media. And what they're seeing right now is not very good. You have lawyers getting caught up in the passions of their clients and become mouthpieces for the diarrhea that's coming out of their mouths. What happened to us? That's what people are asking. What kind of lawyer does this? We have a lawyer right now who is who's already turned state evidence, a convicted lawyer for tax fraud and tax evasion, who is ready to testify against his client in a criminal court of law. I think you guys know who I'm talking about. It's a New York lawyer about to testify in a case against a former president of the United States. Now, I don't care what political spectrum you fall on. You're a Republican or you're a Democrat. As lawyers, that should be offensive to you. That somebody who assisted this man in breaking the law is now ready and prepared to testify in a court of law against his client. I have a major problem with that. I'm a Democrat. I have a major problem with that. And I think as lawyers, we have the responsibility to make sure that people who don't quite understand the way the legal process works, to look at things objectively and explain to them, even if you're in a room with a bunch of Democrats and they want to see our former president go to jail, it's incumbent upon you to tell them what the truth is and be objective and say, that is wrong. A lawyer should not be testifying, in my opinion, against the client under these circumstances. And the only reason why he's doing it is because he doesn't like the way that his client treated him when he was in legal jeopardy. That's not what lawyers are all about, and that is not what the public should base their opinions on what a lawyer is all about. So as we go forward with this year, I want to make sure that we give our profession a facelift. And we've started this, but we need to start it again. We need to complete it. We need to let the public know that as lawyers, we are your advocates, that we will do the best we can to represent you. Now, what happens when people don't trust the legal system? They don't use it. People who need it don't use it. So that person who is suffering pain at the hands of someone who's supposed to love them, beating them in their own house, if they don't trust the legal system, they're not going to go and get the help they need. Or better yet, if you want to look at it from a business standpoint, if they don't trust the legal system, those clients are not going to come in your office and look for representation. What they're seeing on TV is not what the legal system is all about. As a judge, an orphans court judge, we have the highest court in our land. We have justices of the U.S. Supreme Court being questioned about their objectivity because they are taking, not bribes, can't say that, but they are taking gifts from people, huge gifts from people. Now, if people think the justices of the United States Supreme Court are on the take, what are they going to think when they come in my courtroom? I'm low man on the totem pole. It does the bar no good, and it does society no good. So I think one of my objectives is to try to help educate the citizens of Maryland to let them know what the true legal profession is all about. Another goal of mine, and every president who's ever been a part of this association, we have to find a way to maintain and increase membership. It's the lifeblood of what we do. We are a voluntary bar association. That means that people don't have to join this bar association. We have to make sure that we maintain our membership and attract new members. Now, I went to a YLS event on Wednesday night. Hopefully you guys were there. It was a great event. It was filled with young, energetic lawyers. Those are the people that are going to move this bar association forward. We need them. They're the lifeblood of the organization. We have to find a way to attract them and make them feel like they're a meaningful part of this bar association. While I was sitting in that room, I looked around and I said, there may be future bar presidents in this room. And it was a diverse group. There may be future bar presidents in this room. That made me feel good. But it also gave me a strong sense of responsibility. That starting today, I got to make sure that these young people who are here having a good time stay with the MSBA and feel a part of the MSBA. So a major objective of mine is to make sure that we keep our young lawyers engaged, make sure that they want to come in and be a part of this association. So they'll grab another young person. So for 20 years from now, when I'm an old and beat down old man, one of those young lawyers are standing right here becoming president of the Bar Association. That is a goal of mine. It should be a goal of everyone. And if we do that, our membership rolls will continue. But we have to strike a delicate balance. We also have to retain the members that we have. So we have the more experienced population of our membership. We have to make sure that we give them what they need also. Because I'm going to be relying on those experienced members as president of this bar association. We don't want to alienate the folks that helped us get to where we are today for the sake of change. It's a delicate balance, but we have talented people that can do it, and we will do it. So membership is something that I want to continue. I was also chair of the Prince George's Chamber of Commerce, and that's a business organization. And I was getting interviewed by some news organization, and they asked me, how many members do you have? And I said, I'm taking the approach that we have one member. That's my law firm, Alexander & Cleaver. I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm not taking your membership for granted. I want to make sure that when you re-up, you feel that this bar association is for you. And we're not going to always agree on everything. The larger your association is, the more chances that we're not going to agree on everything. But as long as we all agree that we love the Maryland State Bar Association, that we want to see it thrive, we'll work through our differences, and on the back end, everything will be good. So that's what I look forward to that. I want to increase membership. Another goal of mine, and we've talked about it, Raphael Santini talked about it this morning. I hope you guys missed a great, great presentation. DEIA, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. That is something that should be on the front burner of every organization, not just the MSBA, but every organization going. The more diverse, the more open that your organization is, the better your organization will be. That is something that I want to keep on the front burner. David did a great job during his presidency. Past presidents before him made this something that we need to do and need to keep it open and keep it driving. And what have we gotten? Look at what we've done over the last 3 to 4 years. The last 3 out of 4 presidents, we've had a woman, we've had a member of the LGBTQ community, and we have an African American. That's 3 out of your 4 years. And what do we have coming up after me? We have Mr. Santini. People who want to be a part of organizations want to see people that look like them in leadership and have an opportunity to be a leader. So we have done some good work. And our run of presidents suggests and confirms that we've done good work, but we can never rest on our laurels. This is one of those things where, okay, we've had that run. We can put that on the back burner. Let's go back to the way it used to be. It should never go back to the way it used to be. The folks that are covered by DEIA aren't going anywhere. They're going to be here, and they should have the same opportunities as everyone else. So DEIA is something that is going to be on the front burner, and you'll hear more about that as we go forward. One last thing I would like to say, and a big part of what I want to do as president, is I want to make sure that people understand. If you ask anybody about me, if anybody's come through my courtroom and anybody who's known me for years, I'm an open-minded person. My wife may disagree with you, but I am an open-minded person. I will give you an audience. As president, I want to hear from you. We had a bylaws amendment vote, and people were upset. Some people weren't for it. That's fine. I will listen to you. You may not always get the answer that you want. Nobody can give you the answer that you want all the time. But as president, I am going to give you a platform. I want to hear from you. We're all intelligent people. We all went to law school. We all passed that nasty bar exam. We all got here the same way. You have an opinion. I assume that everyone has done their research, and they come out after doing that research with an opinion. I respect your opinion, and I want to hear from you. I don't care how contentious it gets, as long as we're civil, as long as we respect one another, at the end of the day, we'll be a better organization. In closing, a couple of things I want to say and a couple of things people I want to definitely thank. I want to say that the Maryland State Bar Association has fostered several strong relationships with other organizations, as well as partnerships. The Maryland Bar Foundation, the Access to Justice Commission, the MSBA Leadership Academy, and the Pro Bono Resource Center. I want to make sure that we keep those relationships strong, because all of those organizations have the same goals that the MSBA has. I want to keep the lines of communication open. I want to continue to work with you, your members, your boards, to make sure that at the end of this bar year, we're all deemed that we have done something that is great for our organizations. And the MSBA needs to lead the way. We are the major organization. As president, I take that responsibility very seriously. So I look forward to working with all of you, all of those organizations, to advance your goals. So those are my goals. I've developed them over time with the membership in mind. I want you to know that your president respects you. I think David, and I've seen David take some bullets, man. And David let it roll right off his shoulders, all right? David has a little bit more patience than I do. But I've learned a lot. And I understand this is a tough position to be in. I understand that we're going to have debate. But I want you to know, after we have that debate, I'm still going to respect you. I don't take anything personally. I've been practicing law too long to take anything personally. So I hope that we can learn to work together, keep it civil, and come on the back end at the end of the next year, we'll all be happy. Now, to the two people I want to thank. When I first came on the Board of Governors, there was a man here by the name of Victor Velasquez. You all remember Vic. Vic, to say Vic when you first started was a divisive figure is an understatement. There were people who hated Vic, okay? And in my first Board of Governors meeting, I was sitting next to a judge, and I couldn't believe the stuff that people were saying about this man in the board meeting. I said, is all this true? And finally, when it all digested, and I was thinking, wait a minute. They're attacking this man for something that this board gave him the authorization to do. Now, they didn't like the result, but the Board of Governors told him to do it. And the judge that was sitting next to me said, just get through the meeting and let's go get something to eat. That's not Jason Deloach. So I stood up in my very first meeting, and I stood up for Vic. The president at the time looked at me like I had 10 heads. I was a newbie. But what I saw him take, and the nastiness, and quite frankly, racist stuff that was laid at his feet, I was so impressed with the way he handled it. He never altered off his course. He stayed committed. And Victor Velasquez did a fantastic job as executive director. Anybody looking at it objectively would know what he went through and where he came out on the back end. He did a fantastic job for the MSBA. And I want to thank Vic, because I learned something from him. Because if people were throwing those darts at me, the way he did, I would have handled it a whole different way. And most of you would have done the same thing because it was nasty. And I want to thank Vic for his leadership. I also want to thank Vic for hiring Anna Scholl. Anna Scholl, your current executive director, is fantastic. I have worked with her now for probably 8, 9 months, and I really became impressed with her. I don't know if it was at the last annual meeting, but it was somewhere where Vic was, I think it was here. Vic got sick. Vic couldn't be here. And everybody was like, uh-oh, the leader's not here. I told Vic at the end, I was like, man, nobody missed you. Anna's got this. Anna was fantastic. And everything that Anna has shown me since then, she's going to be better than Victor Velasquez. And Vic is not going to want to hear that, but I'm going to tell him. She's going to be better than you. And the staff that we have here is second to none. They're going to have a hard time keeping Jason where he needs to be. Teresa's already found a way to get my attention. Did you get this email that I sent last week? Did you get my text message? She stays on me. I need that because I'm in a lot of different places. But I joke. I'm looking forward to working with the staff. I think they're going to make me look good. I think they're going to keep me exactly where I need to be. And I am so happy and I'm so pleased and honored to be your president for the upcoming bar year. I respect you. I know you have the MSBA's best interests in heart, and I look forward to being your president, and I hope I have your support because I may be reaching out to you at some point. So thank you very much, and thank you to my twins who didn't run around all over the place. Thank you.